Grace with Rebel News. I attended a vigil at Elgin Mills Cemetery for the victims of flight PS752. Ukraine International Airlines flight PS752 was a scheduled passenger flight from Tehran, Iran to Kyiv, Ukraine on January 8, 2020. Shortly after takeoff from Tehran's Imam Khomeini International Airport, the aircraft was shot down by two missiles fired by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. The plane crashed and all 176 people on board were killed, including 55 Canadians and 30 permanent residents. The IRGC claimed the attack was a mistaken identification, believing the passenger jet to be a hostile or incoming threat amid heightened military tensions with the United States. This occurred just hours after the Islamic Republic and Iran had launched missiles at U.S. forces in Iraq in retaliation for the U.S. killing regime general Qasem Soleimani earlier that week. The Islamic Republic initially denied involvement but later admitted responsibility, saying the missiles struck the aircraft in error. Among the victims on flight PS752 was 17-year-old Arad Zareh. His father, Mirzad Zareh, was in attendance at the vigil, and I had the chance to speak with him about the attack, where Iranians are today, and how the revolution in Iran also affects Canadians as well as all of the West.
Today is the 6th anniversary of killing my Aram on flight PS752, along with 175 other innocents. Arad's killed by IRGC's missiles, two missiles, on January 8, 2020, on the sky of Tehran, on the act of terrorism and intention. Today is 6 years gone since these mass murdering is happened, and still we have no justice, no collusion, and obviously all was we hear from the Canadian government, from the liberal government, is a lie on the top of lie and a lie on the top of lie. You know, since day one, we knew the Iranian regime's pre-plan and they shoot down PS752. We get all evidence we have and we take it to the court. By the court, it's called Zareh versus Iran. What it say intentional and the act of terrorism obviously is by Iranian force IRGC, which is shut down the PS752. Since then, we try to telling the Canadian government and be accepted by the law we have obviously and announced by the Canadian law to accept by the Canadian government. Obviously, the liberal government, they are run away from this judgment. And what we hear since day one, try to standing with the families. I don't understand what is the standing by the families when you not hear from the families. They call them justice. They call them fighting for the justice. What justice we get? They have only 4 justice they call, obviously to maximum, they call them compensations and apologies from the Iran regime of the Republic Islamic, obviously returning the ash burn and the phone burn from the victims, and the Iranian promise to not doing like act of this one anymore. Who care what we want from the burning ash of the phones? What care about the maximum monies or maximum compensations from the Iranian regime? We want the justice. As we say on the day one, the justice not be priced. Do not let the justice to be priced with the price for the justice. The justice meaning opening the criminal court here in Canada. Trudeau's, I remember on day one he's coming with the act and the empty word. He said Canadian is Canadian and it's Canadian. You was lie. I tell you, you was lie from the day one. You betrayed the families of the PS752, and now is the 6th anniversary. We are not reaching any justice or any type of justice, apart from you guys talking between the state to the state. We do not talk between the state and to the states. If you was care about the families, you was accepted the Canadian law or Canadian judgment.
So 176 lives were lost. 55 of those were Canadians, and 30, I believe, if I'm right, 30 were permanent residents. Yeah. So why do you think this attack happened in 2020, correct? Why do you think it took until June of 2024 to list the IRGC as a terrorist entity in Canada?
It's very simple. The Canadian law is not matter to the Canadian government. The government said the Canadian is Canadian, but it's not Canadian. Simple as that. If the life is matter, you stand for your families. You stand with your people. You are on the head of the government. If the light is matter with you, you stand with the families. We do not have any relations with the Iranian regime since 2012. The embassies being from the Iranian regimes being closed in 2012 after the Zahra Kazemi's murdering from the Tehran. And since then, every persons fighting for the justice, asking the government to put the IRGCs on the list, and nothing's happened. After these, obviously, after these shooting downs, what other things you want to be standing behind your people and putting the IRGCs on the list? They didn't. I walked 450 kilometers to go to the other one to meet the Justin Trudeau to asking him to put the IRGCs on the list, but he was lying. When I was sitting on his office, he was shaking my hand and he promised to put the IRGCs on the list. We coming out. What did he say? He said, "Do not tell any medias until we announce it." When I coming out, they put the 10,000 unknown person on the list, but that is big lie. Eventually, on 2024, they announced it is a terrorist group, but what's the point on 2024?
Why do you think it took that long? Do you think that it was triggered by the conflict with Israel and Hamas that made them finally do it? But it wasn't enough that 55 Canadians killed on the
Not for the Canadians. The Canadian, if it was care for the Canadian, he was doing it on the first one. But many other activists from the B'nai B'rith, from the Israelis, justice fighter on top of the Iranian fighter to list in the IRGC on the list, they was fighting to put the pressure on the government to list in the IRGC on the list. Is all coming together after the 7th October. So that's why the government had no other choice than put the IRGC. Basically, I can't wait to hear the Islamic Republic of Iran is down. I cannot wait. I already arranged the suites. I will give suites to everybody's on the seat of the thrones. Now is a time to supporting we call them crown prince, the only person on head of the opposition's party, I would say, to put his foot on the front, to supporting his nation, to supporting his people, to forward and forward for the times after the downing the regimes. So whatever idea, whatever obviously political agenda or thing we have to get together. We have to stand together to support the Reza Pahlavi, Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, basically to get the Iran and Iranian people free, and we hope to get the justice for the mullahs, for the Khamenei's and all people they are involved on the murdering from to PS752 and the 47 years mass murdering and killing the Iranian regime on the free Iran, on the free court.
So yesterday, Reza Pahlavi, he put out a video to protesters in Iran, and he said This Thursday and Friday, January 8th and 9th, starting precisely at 8 p.m., wherever you are, whether in the streets or even from your own homes, I call on you to begin chanting exactly at this time. Based on your response, I will announce the next calls to action. What does that mean for Iranians, and what do you think the next call to action?
What, to be honest, my understanding, the next action will be the countries will be only one, are ready to move to Iran to claim the countries, claim the free nations, claim the free Iran. If we get rid of the terrorist regimes, is gonna be the whole world to be much safer, not only Canada. We know they're member and they are official here in Canada, US, Europe, every part of the world. Because of that, if we have free countries, if we have the democratic countries with the under the leader of the crown prince, then it's going to be safer for us. Then we don't have any state supporter of the terrorism somewhere to support these people, and then we can put the pressure on the government of the Canada to say, we have these members, they are part of the the maverick and the terrorist government. Now the government is down, we have to kick them out, or we can cap them and we send them back to be obviously on the free judge or free court of the Iran after the free.
If you stand against foreign Islamic influence in Canada, please visit deporthamas.com.